What's up, guys? It's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity Build It video, and today we're going to talk about two things. One, a community depot, what it is, and how to add it into the group that you're in. And we're going to talk about this walkthrough city that I got going on over here. Okay? So as many of you know, I've been doing the Missy's Building Guide walkthrough to kind of show people exactly how it works and the fact that it does work for the people that are having maybe trouble with it, or they just wanted, a walkthrough or whatever. So I started that 2 days ago, and I've only put about an hour into it because I've been super busy. So I've got to like level 8. So we've done 2 walkthroughs so far. Okay. Now this game is a lot of real time put into it. So I'm trying to do stuff off screen to make it to where, it's enjoyable for you guys to watch without just, okay, we're going to wait 9 fucking hours. You know what I mean? And so bear with me on that. Okay. I'm doing the best I can. Now I wanted to talk to you guys about that walkthrough city. So as many of you know, like I said, I'm going to be doing the Missy's Building Guide on this city, right? And so the Missy's Building Guide, the foundation of it is from level 1 to 24 it applies to everybody. Okay. Doesn't matter what kind of city you want, from level 1 to 24, you're going to follow it exactly as written. That's going to be the foundation of your city. Once you get to level 24, you're going to, obviously you're going to camp there, and you're going to finish the list in the guide that states, this, and this is what you're going to have done before you leave level 24. When you proceed to level 25, that's when you're going to unlock regional maps, and you're not going to unlock the regional map. You're just going to leave it alone. And there's like big red letters in the guide that say, don't fucking do it. It's a trap. Okay. Once you guys hit level 29 and once you're at level 29, if you proceed into level 30, that is right where the crossroads of the game begins. So at level 29, you guys, everybody's going to take a different path, right? Some of you are going to go on for your Omega cities. Some of you are going to go on and do your high pop cities. And then some of you are just going to continue on the basic path of the game and do whatever it is that you want to do, like just what you like the looks of and things like that. And so that is where I am going to stop. I'm going to stop at level 24. Okay. Because that will have proven that everything that I've told you guys that you can accomplish, you can. And I will have proven that, right? So by level 24, I am actually going to make a separate email for this city, and I'm going to make a separate Facebook. And it's just going to be a basic Gmail and basic Facebook, okay? And then I'm going to do a giveaway on the channel, and I'm going to give this city away. So one of you guys is going to be getting hooked the fuck up with the badass city. It's going to be a start to a badass city, okay? You're going to have max storage. You're going to have max land unlocked. You're going to have all your shop slots are going to be done. I mean, everything that's in the Missy's Building Guide is going to be completed on this city. And so a lot of you may have, high level cities that you've put 7, 8, 9, 10 years into, I don't know, however long the game's been out, and you don't want to restart because of all the work that's involved. Maybe one of you will win it, or maybe it'll be a total noob, and you just get handed a really badass city. But either way, it's going to stop at level 24, and the reason for that is because I want you to be able to choose the path in which you want to go. So what I'll do is when I do the giveaway, I will sign over the Gmail to you and the Facebook. Okay. I'll give you the login and the password, and then you go in and you change the passwords. You take whatever device it is you're going to want to play, the game on that you don't already. So if you have like an extra tablet at home or a computer and you run BlueStacks, you can just go in there, redo the tutorial, and log into this Facebook, and then boom, you got the city, right? So I don't know when it's going to be done yet, but you'll see it on my channel, because it'll be like a fucking fireworks show saying, I'm done, I'm out of this hellhole. No. But, okay, so let's talk about the community depot. What is a community depot? Well, a lot of you don't know what it is because you didn't invent it. I did, right? So the only people that know what it is are the people that are in my group. So A couple of years ago, we had a guy come in. He was intelligent, more so than the average person that I see on the game. And he had a lot of the same thought processes that I did. And so we clicked really well. And he ended up quitting playing the game and whatnot. But what we did was we came up with a community depot. And what it is if so, like right now I have CPT as my co-president of my group. So when I'm not on, he's on usually, because we're on 2 different time zones. And so he's able to kind of monitor the group and keep everybody in line, so to speak. Like usually it's not the people that are actually in my group. It's the people that are kind of coming and going between wars that cause issues. Right. And so with a community depot, we had people that would struggle, through the contest of mayors, or they would need items or whatever. And when your group is open, you have this issue where new people join in. They depot hop to kind of look for more items and whatnot, and they get a hold of your depots and they just fucking wipe them out. And that's when you're like, okay, fuck this. I'm just gonna close the group and make people apply, right? Well, still, even then, people still jump around and depot, jack all your stuff. And so what we did was we created a city. It was a feeder city. We brought it up to level 24. And this was, like I said, this was about 2-3 years ago. We had brought the city up, right? Both people had access to it. So me and the guy. So now it would be CPT because he's actually a co-president, not just a member. And so me and CPT would download the game on a second device. And if you do this for your group, you can just do, you can just have one person in charge. It could be the president. It could be whoever wants to do it. You know what I mean? Anybody. And so what we would do is we would use this depot, this city, as a community depot. And what it means is this city is funded by all the cities in the game. All the cities in your group, I mean. And so what people will do is they'll say things like, okay, I have 5 nails up for CD. Nobody knows what CD is. Well, they're going to after I release this video. But now that Facebook is, everybody's got their cities connected to Facebook. So you're able to save this community depot and have it connected to all of the people in your group without having it connected to the group. So someone can join in the group, but they can't see it because they're not friends with you on Facebook, right? And so you take the people in your group that you like and trust, and you friend them on this community depot. And the community depot is funded by these members. And they say, okay, just whenever they have it, they don't even have to put anything up if they don't want to. But if, let's just say CPT was like, hey, I got 5 nails for the community depot. Then I go pick it up with the community depot and I post it for sale for pennies. Now, everybody in the group can access this depot when they need to. And if they're in a bind, or if they're, they're hurting for money or whatever, or maybe they're doing VE repairs or contest of mayors or whatever it is that they're doing, they can go and check the community depot and see if there's something in there for cheap. Now, because this community depot is funded by all members, it doesn't really do anything else, right? And so you collect your taxes on it. Whoever's in charge of the community depot, you can collect your taxes on it, and you can sell the items for max if you end up needing the money or whatever. But for the most part, you really don't end up needing coins because you're producing stuff all the time and you're just posting it for people. You're not really doing anything on the game. You're just using it as a depot, really. So you're not trying to upgrade houses on it. You're not trying to win the contest of mayors. You're not doing anything on it besides posting items for people and collecting taxes and making stuff, right? So sometimes we would just have like some rare items up for sale. We usually didn't do that because, people would just come and snag them. But we had ours in our group. We didn't have it connected to Facebook because all of our members back then didn't have their stuff saved to Facebook. So I advise if you do this, if you are an avid war club, then yes, you're going to have to bring the community depot into your group. But I would advise not having it in there all the time. So when your group goes into war, right, what you can do is you can put the group on it goes on lockdown during war, nobody in or out. So bring your depot in during war, okay? And then the group gets locked down, and then you can take it out when war ends. And that way you don't have to worry about everybody snagging all the stuff. Or essentially you still would have to have people buy it so that, Daniel didn't get it or whatever. But typically the war people, they swoop that stuff up pretty quick, right? Now, if you're not doing war, and we don't do war, so that's not a problem for us. But typically what we would do is we would tell somebody, like in the chat, we'll say, okay, go to CD, it has 5 nails for you. Now, the people in the group, they know what that is, and they know where they're going. And the other people in the group, they don't know what it is, right? They're just kind of like, okay, whatever. That didn't understand that. Life goes on. And it ends up working out really well because a lot of people will wipe out people's depots anytime there's anything for sale. But with the community depot, everybody is just putting out what they need or taking what they need from it only, not just wiping it out, but they're also giving back to it, right? And so everybody's kind of helping each other out, and you don't have to give the items up for pennies. You can sell them for max if you want, if you're hurting for coins or whatever. There's nothing in there that says, okay, it has to be sold for max or it's only going to be put up for pennies. Sometimes the community depot might be at full price. If the community depot is full of items and it has really hasn't got a lot of money or whatever, then you'll start putting it up for max. But typically I've been pretty good about keeping it to where everything can be put up for free without having to really sell anything for max, right? So a lot of you will donate good items, right? Like nothing, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It can be like, okay, so-and-so had a couple extra paint. So he just said, okay, it just something simple. All you got to do is say CD paint up. And I know what that is. And so whoever's on the community depot at the time, which in my group, it would be me or CPT. CPT would be, he's 9 hours ahead of me. And so between our schedules, we're able to kind of monitor the group day and night pretty well, right? So he would be able to go on, and you don't have to sit on this thing all day either. Like usually what I do is I just post everything that I think I, want to or whatever. And I post it all up in the morning, right? And then theoretically what would happen is CPT would come on throughout the day and he would post stuff, right? So you just have to make sure that if you give access to 2 people to the same city, that you guys aren't trying to log on at the same time, because then it's going to fuck up with your save status, right? So what happens is when you log into your game, right, it's going to prompt you with a thing that says, you have this city and then you have it's going to put your 2 cities right in front of you. It's going to say continue on with this one or go from the last save. And so you're going to pick whichever one you want to do. Usually you go from the last save, whatever it is that happened, right? And then if I was to have 2 devices in front of me, let's say I was on my phone and my tablet and they were both connected to the same city. If I was to open both of my games at the same time, it would give me that screen that pops up that says, okay, what the hell are you doing here, lady? Like, what the fuck? And you got to pick one, right? And if you proceed on, it's going to do the same thing when you open it again. So just make sure that the person is on it when you're not on it. And then that way you guys can log in after each other so the save isn't getting fucked up, right? So if that's something that you guys want to do for your group, that's how it works. You would just friend everybody in your group and then people would just travel to your friends list. And this way it eliminates the ability for somebody to come in and swoop everything up, right? Now, obviously, every group is different. Everybody has different rules and everybody has different requirements and all that stuff. So whatever group that you're in, maybe you're a president, maybe you're just a group member, if you wanted to suggest it. But I suggest that the person who does it wants to do it. like really wants to do it, because it's a lot of work to get it to that point. And you could even keep it low level. You don't have to bring it up to level 24. The only reason that I brought mine up to level 24 was because I wanted to be able to make cream with it, and I wanted to be able to help a lot of people at that point in time in the game, because ours was mainly to help people with the contest of mayors at the time. And so leaving it a level 10 or a level 20 or whatever, you know, it was too low. So basically what you should do is analyze what it is your group is about. You know, what does your group do? What is your group predominantly focused on? If it's focused most on, you know, war or whatever, then try to make one based off that. If it's focused for the contest of mayors, then maybe think about, okay, well, let's look at all the group members within our group, see what level they are, and see what everybody needs the most. You know, like what it seems, discuss it with your group, okay? Because everybody needs to be aware of what it is, how to use it, and how not to basically misuse it. Because if they're abusing it and they're just going in there and wiping everything out, then that kind of defeats the purpose, right? So it's really helpful, especially because what we would do is we would put up 5. We would always try to have 5 of every raw material posted at any time during the day, right? So for those of you who don't know, raw materials are your factory items, the things like seeds, metal, plastic, chemicals, textiles, minerals, all that stuff. And the metal, the plastic, and the wood is actually, you know, it's really easy to find in the global market, but the other stuff like the chemicals, the textiles, and things like that, they're not. So they can kind of be a pain in the ass to find sometimes. So we would try to put up just at least 5 of each, so that if somebody had a VU repair or whatever that needed it, then they would have it available. Another thing that we always put in our community depot was, I like to call them VU repair items. Now, what I mean by that is, when you look at your VU tower, let's pull it up here. You see how it says repair cost easy, and then repair cost medium, and then you have high or hard, okay? So here's the thing with this. The easy and the medium aren't that far apart from what they ask you for. The hard is, that one they usually ask you for, like fire pits, burgers, pizza, the really expensive stuff. The other ones ask you for the cheaper stuff. So to me, I think they mislabeled this. What it should be is, for me personally, it's harder to find the lower level item stuff than it is the higher level stuff. But they're talking about cost. So they kind of should have labeled it, you know, this is the more expensive one versus the least expensive one, right? And so what I've considered to be VU repair items are things like donuts, tape, hammers, nails, planks, that stuff, right? All that easy beginner stuff. Now, we've also noticed that with this particular pass that we've had a lot of the mayor's, hang on just a second, let me find it. So the contest of mayor's assignments, a lot of people have been getting this one, the carved wood that needs the planks or whatever. And it's put this high demand for planks in that most people don't pick this stupid shit because it's stupid, right? But, I mean, if you can get your community depot up to level 24, this is like why I did it, because you can get those gold tokens, right? And you can just run gold tokens on stuff like this. So what we would do is we would run gold tokens on stuff that we knew that people needed a lot of, right? So if we knew that everybody was having a particular, you know, if it was the beginning of the contest, we opened up all 32 depot slots. That was number 1. And then we went through and we did the planks. And so we would just throw a gold token on planks, and then we'd have a shit ton of planks up if people needed them, or nails or whatever. But the one thing that we always tried to have, always, was VU repair items. So, tape or hammers or whatever. And typically what I would do is I would try to post around 2 or 3, because not very often do you need 5 of something, right? Now, yes, there are times where it's like, okay, I need fucking 29 cement or something, or 28 cement because I got a stupid gnome task or whatever. But essentially, most of the time, people don't want to buy 5 tape for 1 VU repair. And then what ends up happening is now it's not in the community depot for somebody because somebody had to purchase the whole stack, right? So if you have stuff that's left over that you don't need, if you're like, hey, I picked up these 5 from the community depot, but I really only needed 2, you can just put it out there so that that person can go back, whoever's running the depot can go over and pick it up and repost it for sale. Now, that would require somebody being on the game quite a bit. So also keep in mind, and this is super important for all of you guys to know, okay? Even if you don't have a community depot, and this is the one thing that I see a lot in groups, and that is people don't offer their items to their group members first. They always just global shit. I can't tell you how many times I've been on the global market where I see somebody's depot and they've got like nice shit up, like cream or whatever, and they've even got rares up. And I'm looking and it shows a little shield by their name, and I'm like, oh, I bet their group members are happy, And so you click it, and it's like, you click on their name of their group, and you're going, okay, dude, these people definitely don't have all their shit together. So why aren't you giving this to your group, members? Why aren't you helping out your team? And that just drives me crazy, because there's a lot, especially if you look into the production thing that me and CPT made, the production plan, you can clearly see there that there is a high demand for a lot of items that are required to make other items. And so if you think about it, you're like, okay, wait a minute here. I might not need melons at my level 18, right? So if I'm level 18 and I see melons all over the global market, I don't need them to make smoothies, because I'm not making smoothies, I'm making donuts. And the high level players are making donuts too. But the high level players have pink drinks unlocked, which are profitable. So I could be picking those up for them, right? And people just don't think about anybody but themselves. And so think about the high level players in your group. If you see things like cement and glue on the global market, and you don't have gnomes unlocked, and you don't need them, buy it, and say, hey dude, I got a bunch of cement and glue up for you guys if you want to make gnomes, because those are the most profitable, right? Realistically. So when you look at all of this stuff, you can really help each other out if you guys all work together, right? So if everybody's thinking about everybody else, then your whole team does better. But if you're only thinking about yourself and only talking and participating within your group for yourself, that's all that your group will ever be, right? It'll just be a bunch of needy ass people only out for themselves, and your team won't do good like that. Now, if we can all help each other out, then you'll start to see not only higher, comm points, but you'll just have a more pleasant gameplay in general. You don't want to be stuck in a group with a bunch of fucking assholes, right? And so when you have somebody, for example, that wants to sell their items for pennies because they want to be nice to somebody, right? I'm all with it, and I'm all with, you being nice and helping somebody out, but don't do that, okay? Just don't. Like, unless you know the person and you're helping them. So, like, let's say CPT had an issue, and he fucked up, and his epic cost more than he was expecting, and he ended up in a bind, right? I would empty my whole depot for free. I wouldn't care. I'd be like, here, take it. I don't need it. Fuck it. But if somebody comes into my group and they're new and they're just expecting it, then no, don't do that for somebody, So don't be taken advantage of. Make sure that whomever you're you're helping and the way that you're helping them would do the same for you. Okay? I see people do this all the time, and it's usually kids. It's usually the little kids that come in and they want friends and they want you to like them, and they give you all their shit for nothing. And people are such assholes that they don't even care. They're just like, oh yeah, come on, you stupid little idiot, give it to me. You know? And it's fucked up. It really is. And so, you know, don't take advantage of people. Right? Try to give back whatever it is that you're taking from your group. I don't care what it is. It could even just be simple requests for the game, right? So I had this one dude that was a VP in my group for a while, and he was really, really about that, you know, and a little too much about that. So people would join in the group, and they would immediately ask for something, even if they said hi first, you know? If they didn't say hi first, he would boot them immediately. If they joined in and they were like 3 nails, he would be like, boot. It's like, what the fuck? He's like, that's just rude. You don't just come into a group without offering anything and just start demanding items. He took it as really rude. And I understand his point, but at the same time, you know, you're booting everybody that's coming through the door, dude. You know? So then it was like, okay, tone it down a little bit. And so people would come in, and he had this philosophy that people should offer at least 10 items up or have donated and helped somebody X amount of times before they ever requested anything from the group. Now, again, I'm not quite that strict, right? So a lot of people over the years, they've complained about the rules in my group, and I don't give a shit. They're simple rules and they're easy to follow. And if you are a president of that group, then you need to hold your ground on that. And that's actually something I'm going to talk about in this upcoming video. But I just wanted to get this out there on the community depot and stuff, so that if you guys are having issues, or you guys need help, or you guys think it might benefit your group, that you can go ahead and do something like that. Now, for those of you who haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. That way you guys can get notifications for the upcoming videos. As far as that walkthrough gift giveaway, okay? I don't know exactly what it is that's going to be determining the winner yet. I wanted to do a city design, you know, like whoever had the best city design would win the city. But then it's kind of like, I don't know. Because, yeah, I think if somebody has enough stuff to do a cool city, that they wouldn't really benefit much from winning this one, right? So I kind of want it to go to somebody who needs it, you know? It's going to be a lot of work getting put into it, so it would be nice to get, you know, somebody who would appreciate it, give it to them. So I don't know exactly what to do as far as, like, how it's going to be given away. It's definitely not going to be given away until it's done, so let's hope I can get it done relatively soon. But if any of you actually have any ideas on, I don't know, whatever, you know, the giveaway should be, like I said, if it's kind of difficult with a game like this. It might just be picking a number that's closest to the number that I have chosen, or whatever, right? Or just putting your fucking, I know there's apps and stuff where you can like put your name in a jar and it randomly draws somebody or whatever. But I don't know, I'll figure it out, and I will put up a post about it. So like I said, go ahead, like, subscribe, and I'm out, and I'm going to go get this other video done. And then I'm doing my third walkthrough today. Don't forget that.